Gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Barr is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, good to see you. You have said numerous times that the capital framework is about right and that banks are well capitalized. Do you still believe this?
I do.
Given that you believe that, and given the fact that the Basel III Endgame proposal dramatically increases capital requirements on banks, would a re-proposal that implemented Basel III in a capital-neutral way, could it do so without jeopardizing financial stability?
Could. I mean, hypothetically, yeah.
Okay. According to Latham and Watkins, 97% of the comment letters either opposed, called for a reproposal, or expressed substantial concerns about the Basel III Endgame proposal. And those negative comments came from across the ideological spectrum and from various interests. Without objection, I would ask the chair to include that report into the record. Without objection, I'd ask the chair to include that report.
Without objection.
Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, did you see that report?
I did.
Does that concern you, that 97% of the comments were negative?
So we didn't do our own count, so I can't make an assessment, but I would say it's unlike anything I've seen.
The Basel III comment period ended on the same day as the Fed's data collection on the proposal, which is an odd process since the data should have been collected far earlier, analyzed, and the results should have been available for the public to comment on before the comment period ended. Why did the Federal Reserve choose to do a quantitative impact study during the comment period for the proposal, foreclosing any ability by the public to comment on the results of the study?
Well, I mean, the movie's not over. We are where we are, and Vice Chair Barr did commit to putting the QIS out for comment. We will receive those comments, and those comments will be taken into consideration as we think about the path ahead.
Well, speaking of process, you've got your excellent general counsel right behind you there. And I don't want to get into privilege here, but have the lawyers at the Fed raised any process concerns or Administrative Procedure Act issues with the board?
Let me just say that we're committed to doing transparent and reasonable and data-based rulemaking in compliance with the Administrative Procedure Act.
Well, of course, giving the public the ability to comment on the quantitative data that has been provided obviously is consistent with good process. Sir, Governors Bowman and Waller, Vice Chair Hill, and Director McKernan all dissented on the proposal, and Vice Chair Jefferson expressed concerns with it during his statement. Under your tenure as chair, can you identify any other regulatory proposal which has elicited this much dissent?
No.
Have you in the past acknowledged in front of this committee that you will not move forward with proposals without consensus? Or you have acknowledged that in the past, and we appreciate that commitment to consensus. Have you achieved consensus yet on the Basel proposal?
Let me say I am confident that we will, but that's a process that as I mentioned, we're evaluating the comments. We're just coming to the place where we're going to start talking about the path ahead, and I am confident that we'll achieve very broad support on the board.
Mr. Chairman, do you agree that the heterogeneity and business model diversity within the banking sector contributes to system-wide financial stability?
I strongly do.
And do you agree that a concentrated business model in the banking sector would present a potentially systemic risk?
Potentially, yeah.
And this is one of my major concerns with the proposal, Mr. Chairman, because by de facto repealing regulatory tailoring, subjecting Category 3 and 4 regional banks to one-size-fits-all standards that currently only apply to large GSIBs, discouraging securitization, which is the private sector solution for dispersing risk, eliminating the use of internal risk models, and transitioning the industry and regulators toward only a standardized framework, actually would push the industry into a smaller and more concentrated-looking industry, and as a result would, in my view, actually increase systemic risk and decrease market competition. Do you share that concern?
I think it's a real concern. And again, I think that's part of what goes into my thinking, certainly, about the proposal and where it needs to go.
Well, given all of these concerns, we hope that you can commit to reproposing the Basel III Endgame, and we strongly urge you to take that into consideration.